News.
Right, I'll have the front pages of the papers for you after Charlotte runs through other news stories coming into us.
Thanks, Eamon. Two British soldiers who were killed in Afghanistan while trying to rescue a wounded colleague have been described as courageous and selfless. The soldiers, one from the Royal Dragoon Guards and the other from 1st Battalion Scots Guards. The new star attractions at a zoo in Paris have made their first appearance. Look at these, two extremely rare clouded leopard cubs were introduced to the public nearly 10 weeks after they were born. The girls are named Patty and Jaya, and they showed no signs of stage fright. They're getting to grips though with their new surroundings, and only 10,000 of these leopards are known to exist in the wild, so they're very rare.
You see, you're looking at that and you're looking at that as if it's a little pussycat you're dealing with there.
It is like a little pussycat.
It's a killer. It's a killer animal.
Stage,
That's
anyway.
what it is.
They've gone now, so don't look at them.
They've gone, yes. Would that make you go to the zoo?
It would, yeah. I love things like that. I think that would be beautiful. But yes, you're right. You have to remember they are wild animals. They're not there to be cuddled.
Well, it's a long way to go, Paris, for a day out, but but very nice. Front pages of the papers. Let's look at these. The Times first of all.
At the moment.
OK, that's Jenny Jones. She sits on the Metropolitan Police Authority, also a member of the Green Party. We're going to be talking about summer camps for teenagers. Now, this is a sort of national service. James, we're going to be speaking about that after Charlotte with a rundown of what else is happening.
Thanks, Eamon. Two British soldiers killed in Afghanistan while trying to rescue a wounded colleague have been described as courageous and selfless. The soldiers, one from the Royal Dragoon Guards and the other from 1st Battalion Scots Guards.
But they're not going into the wild.
No, they're not. I was going to say not just yet, but no, they're not at all.
Thank you, Charlotte. Very nice. Yeah. Charlotte loves those stories.
Do you like those stories?
I do like the animal stories, yeah.
You know, there was a big debate yesterday about charities, why we don't give more to charities for human beings, but we always give more to animal charities. Would you give more to an animal charity, do you think?
I'd probably give the same amount to both.
Would you?
Yeah, I would, actually.
She should be in the diplomatic corps. She's wasted on TV.
Well, Mike Hughes has emailed us this morning, and he says there was a story going about a whale that jumped on board a boat and sunk the boat.
Yes, I know. I'm very sorry about that, but I've really got to improve my breaststroke.
OK. James is here with stories in the papers, and there's a government initiative being launched today. We're going to be talking to the minister involved in this later on, but you'll see the headline here, and it's summer camp plan for every teenager, which is one thing, but then under that you see this term national service. Is it anything to do with national service?
No, this is like this stupid big society idea of David Cameron, and somebody needs to actually take him to task about this. It says in the paper, summer camp, as you say, planned for every teenager. Hundreds of thousands of 16-year-olds are to be sent to summer camps at a cost to the taxpayer. It's going to cost up to £50 million. Well, actually, it's not. This is a pilot scheme. It's going to be run in Birmingham and London to start off with by a charity. OK. Now, at 16, I was working, and a lot of people leave school at 16 and start working. David Cameron thought this is a great idea. I'm going to send every 16-year-old into this summer camp and they'll learn about the big society. Well, that's OK if you have the bottle to make it compulsory. It's not going to be compulsory. It's just going to be for those kids who want to do it. So,
is this a summer camp, or is this just a way of taking a lot of youngsters off the streets during the summer to stop them getting up to no good?
This is a way of filling TV and radio time by politicians who want to get their fat faces on the screen. That is what this is about. And when you talk to the minister, you might say, if this is such a good idea, why isn't it compulsory? I'd like to know why it's not compulsory.
Well, Stephen Bubb, who's head of something called
something like that, some strange,
which represents voluntary chiefs, he says there is a risk that this project will be filled by middle-class and upper-class kids.
I think he's absolutely right.
Heaven forbid.
I mean, you and I wouldn't go on something like this, would we? Well, we'd be hanging around the street corner eyeing up the girls. We wouldn't be doing this.
We'd get in a job in a supermarket, wouldn't you, or something?
We'd be working. This is just a waste of government time.
But isn't it a good step forward, though? At least they're trying to do something. Maybe the start is that it's voluntary, and maybe they'll be able to expand it in the future.
If you want to take... All they're concerned about doing, and quite rightly, is they want to take the troublemakers off the streets, which we would like.
It's like a big youth club we're talking about here.
So, open youth clubs, all right? Allow people to get on with their lives and give them more of an interest in what they're doing. And stop people having children who've got absolutely no interest in bringing them up.
Okay.
End of story.
Okay. Maybe we should, though, give it a go, give it a chance. What's your view on this one? Summer camps as a form of national service. News at sky.com, at Sky Charlotte, at Eamon Holmes as well. 24-hour drinking, what's going to happen there?
Well, you know, my favourite paper, the Daily Mail. What would we talk show hosts do without the Daily Mail? What would wind us up in the morning? I've no idea. But here we are, front page. At last, an end to 24-hour drinking. You know, could we stop this? I like to go out and have a drink at 4 o'clock in the morning occasionally. You know, I don't get drunk. I like to go and have a glass of wine or a pint of beer or whatever it is. Why should I have to put up with all this stuff because a bunch of thickos can't behave themselves properly? I'm sorry, I've been away for a couple of weeks. I've just got to get off my chest.
You've been building it all up.
I've been building it up. And I find this annoying. I should be able to go out and get a drink any time I want. All right? And I'm fed up with being told what I should and shouldn't do by the Daily Mail, thank you.
OK, should Nick Clegg be told better what he should and shouldn't do? The Prime Minister's away and he's made a few faux pas yesterday.
Well, I saw it yesterday. Prime Minister's Question Time. Nick Clegg, probably the first and last time he'll get a chance of doing it, I don't know. I tell you what came across to me. First of all, they're talking about, you know, they're closing down Yarlswood detention centre. They're only closing down part of it. That was one of his mistakes. The other mistake was he said Iraq was an illegal war. Well, actually, if you look at all the stuff coming out of the Iraq inquiry, he was probably right. But the thing about PMQ's...
But that's not the government line. That might be the Lib Dem line, and he's now in government, isn't it?
Well, the government line actually isn't there at the moment, because until the Iraq inquiry has come out and people have decided... I mean, this is a huge question mark over whether we should ever have had anything to do with the Iraq war. But that aside, I think the embarrassing thing yesterday was the badly behaved members of Parliament. Lots of these new people screaming at each other as if they are some kind of uncontrollable bad
Some things never change.
Maybe they're the ones who need to go on a summer camp. Oh, sorry, they are, aren't they, for 6 weeks?
Right, we've got a photo story on which to end here, and this is the actress Billie Piper that we're going to see.
Silly Billy.
This is from The Sun here. And what we see here is she's smoking in front of her youngster here, and the danger here is about second-hand smoke inhalation.
Well, would you smoke and then blow it in the face of your children?
I don't smoke.
No, exactly. Well, you're an intelligent person. It's only the idiots.
And I'm lucky I'm not addicted to it.
Yeah, well, if you're addicted to it, go and get help. And not only is she quite happy to smoke roll-ups for some strange reason, she probably thinks she looks very trendy, but she thinks it's perfectly acceptable to blow smoke in the face of her son. I suggest she gets a real roasting in the press. I hope we see a lot of this. This is disgusting behaviour. She should know better.
Well, maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Maybe it's probably shot in a long lens.
It could be a cleverly framed photo.
Oh, don't tell me they do things like that in the newspapers.
No,
well, it has been known.
I think it's called compression.
Could that actually not be the way it seems in The Sun?
Well, OK, it's there for people to judge. Let us know your views on that. Mr. Whale will be back in 1 hour's time. He's only warming up.
I'm warmed up.
Thank you very much indeed.
OK.
We're going to take a break there. The website skynews.com. Train station attack.
Falling at the moment.
Thousands of people who suffer a mini stroke are missing out on a potentially life-saving surgery to prevent a major one. That's according to the Vascular Surgical Society, who say the NHS needs to act quicker to treat people with early symptoms. Our health correspondent Thomas Moore has the details. The conditions of his release. The new star attractions at a zoo in Paris have made their first appearance. These are two extremely rare clouded leopard cubs. They were introduced to the public about 10 weeks after they were born. They're two girls and they're named Patty and Jaya. They showed no signs of stage fright there. They're getting to grips with their new surroundings. And only 10,000 of these leopards are known to exist in the wild, and I bet they'll be drawing in the crowds. Lots of people, no doubt, want to go and see them for themselves.
Yes, but should they not be letting them out into the wild, no?
Well, perhaps they should, but I guess if they're born in captivity, they're used to the snug environment. You can't just throw them out to cope with the rest of nature.
Well, OK, right. Front pages of the papers, we're talking about a national citizen service for 30...
You could save.
Sky News Sunrise on a Thursday with me, Eamon Holmes, and Mr. James Whale, who's here to do the paper, but instead discussing what he's had for breakfast this morning. Do you want to share it with us?
No, it's very nice. Porridge. I'm not sure that I can speak anymore, though.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I just feel full.
I just thought it was too hot. It burnt the inside of your mouth. But thank you very much indeed with that.
Nice bacon sandwich down here, though.
Indeed, indeed, like David Cameron and a hot dog. Charlotte on the news and leading that news this morning. We've got tributes.